Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professor Sutton.
And I'm your boy Chris
And
G.
it's your boy, the Rock Report.
First and foremost, I want to shout out my man Pat. He came through, man. You know,
Yes, sir.
He came all the way from Bridgeport to make us look good. We got a lot going on here, man. We got Mooka and Isis helping us out, and in the background. So we definitely appreciate that.
You should be a little more clear about that ISIS thing. I mean, I understand, but you might just want to be a little more clear.
ISIS, man. You know what I mean? What? Oh, I mean, it's a person. It's not the.
Well, you clarified some more.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like you should,
She's
just
a
with
person.
the recent events,
She's
you
a
might
person.
just want to.
Is a person that we know.
And she does say that. She's like, now because of her name, everybody be asking her if she's Muslim and stuff like that. Right?
Is she
It's pretty
Muslim?
crazy, but people are who they are. But anywho, we're gonna just jump right into it, man. We're gonna talk about game one of the NBA Finals, which was definitely I don't want to say I was proud of it, but I'm still optimistic about game two.
As you should be.
I'm not too concerned about it. When I was looking at the game, I Chris and I we had talked afterwards, and I thought it was really going to be
Because you ain't answer my calls.
nah. Well, you didn't call me. You did not call me.
You got 5 phones.
You
Every
did
number.
not call me one time. You know what I mean? But
One time.
I think that what happened was last year he was talking smack, and then he was talking smack too early. And then what happened was the Cavs came, and you know what happened. Just in case you didn't see what happened, it was definitely a good event.
We got people saying go Golden State just for you.
That's
Oh, my
fine.
God.
Listen, we used to it. We definitely used to the hate. You know what I mean? But
The hate.
yeah, but we ain't gonna trip over it.
Okay.
So starting, you want to lead us off, Chris? Talking about game one, what you saw, some of the positives that you like.
Well,
So you just gonna go to Chris?
Yeah.
Because you don't want me.
Nah, you know what? We're gonna say the best for last.
I don't like that you did that. You're a jerk. Anyway.
Well, when I was watching the game, I knew it was a lot of nervous energy at first. You could see it. Everybody. To me, the only person that wasn't nervous at the very, very beginning of the game was Kyrie.
Oh yeah.
I thought even KD, I
Kyrie
thought passed up some shots. Kyrie, from the beginning, was just like, man, this is basketball, man. You know what I mean? Everybody else,
Let's just say where he's from again.
Jersey.
That's what we do.
Even LeBron, KD, Steph, everybody looked a little. Not that they were nervous, just a little anxious. You know what I mean? Just a little. It was a lot of energy. Yeah, it was a lot of rush. It was a lot of energy, a little anxious energy. So that was how the game started off. But it picked up really, really quickly. It picked up really, really quickly. And as I was watching the game, the biggest takeaway that I got from Golden State versus Cleveland in game one is that Golden State was the much more physical team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were much more physical.
The entire game.
The entire game, they were more physical. I mean, Klay Thompson couldn't hit a shot, right?
No.
But you want to talk about lockdown defense on Kevin Love, on Kyrie, on LeBron.
Is he the best 2-guard in the league?
He is the best two-way 2-guard in the league.
Okay.
The best two-way 2-guard.
I like that.
I mean, yeah, I don't think there's no other way to put it. Like somebody who could defend, and even though he's struggling offensively right now.
But to still defend at that level?
Oh, man, to defend at that level.
Yeah.
To defend at that level is
Who was just talking smack?
It's no. It's not. Look at the picture. It's nobody talking smack. No, look at the picture. I don't want to. You have to make a break. You kind of in right in the lane of the camera.
Nah, Pat good. Oh, Pat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you see?
I mean, okay, there we go. All right.
There we go.
It's just like I'm just saying. We moving. It's live, but we try to get on the angles. We try to get on the angles. But yeah, no, I just thought that the Warriors were way more physical.
Mm-hmm.
And what we said earlier in the beginning of the year when KD went to Golden State was, what are you going to do now? Because the thing that Cleveland was able to do last year was be physical and double Klay and double Steph. Every time they touched the ball, that's what they could do. You cannot do that now. Like, even if you say we're going to double Kevin and we're going to double Steph, You're going to leave Clay. And I know Clay is struggling, but nobody. And this is one thing, and I don't agree with Skip Bayless very often. But one thing I will agree with him. One thing I will agree. Nobody, and I mean nobody in the NBA gets hotter than Clay when Clay is hot. That's nobody. Nobody.
37 in the quarter?
37. And you know what his second highest is? 36. So I'm just saying, no, you don't want to let Clay shoot his way back into being hot. You see what I'm saying? So, and also the dynamic of Kevin Durant that they got this year working for him that they didn't have last year. Kevin Durant is so offensively gifted. He can get a shot wherever. Yes. Where Harrison Barnes was a corner three guy. Now, if you stepped on him too fast, he might pump fake you, go to the lane. He can't jam on you. But Kevin can do that everywhere. Like everywhere on the court. And if you're ever in trouble, if you double Kevin, it's a bad idea because he can see over everybody on the court. Unless you put Tristan on him, and then Tristan's just going to get cooked.
You know what the funny thing is, man? We know what we be talking about, man. I just want to put that out there. Because people really don't understand. We know what we be talking about. That's a very fair statement. You got Negro Diamonds over there? Come on. Son. We ain't losing. We ain't losing.
Here's what I'm looking at for game 2. Game 1 was game 1. Listen, you can take that and throw that game away. That was what it was. It's its own singular thing. Move that to the side. Game 2, I believe, is going to tell me everything about how this series is going to go. Let me tell you this. This ain't last year.
No, it's not.
And Mark Stein said it the best. They were interviewing him on Mike and Mike, and he was like, well, you know, they won the first 2 games last year, and they still lost. And he said, they had Kevin Durant last year, boss. That's exactly what I'm saying. They had him last year, boss. So if Golden State goes up 2-0, this is a different animal. Yeah. This is a different animal if they go up 2-0. I think the Cavs, this is a must win for the Cavs. I know people normally say, you know, the playoffs don't start until the home team loses. Yep. This is different to me. Yeah. I think if they lose 2, they need to press the panic button because now you got to see face to face playing the Golden State what you got. And if you make your adjustments for this game, you still can't get them. There ain't gonna be if you're gonna look at me in the face and tell me that if Golden State win tonight, that Cleveland's gonna win 4 out of the next 5.
Yes. And that was the comment that they were throwing around on Skip and Shannon's show the other day. And Shannon was saying it. You really now again, I know we're talking about your gossip.
That's all right.
4 out of 5.
Listen.
With this team.
Like I just said, this ain't last year, boss. This ain't last year. So and just like I said, game 1, throw that away. Last year's comeback, it's a reason why it never happened before. You know what I mean? That's an anomaly. That doesn't happen in the NBA if you're up 3-1. You don't lose.
So go ahead. I'm sorry, great question.
So just to wrap it up in a bow here, this is a must win, I believe, for Cleveland. So I do believe Cleveland's going to come out and they're going to be shooting. They're going to be shooting on all cylinders. I would just hope that even if they're shooting on all cylinders, I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Now,
I don't know.
Now, if Cleveland was to win this.
Hold on. Rich London said something.
Oh, boy.
What you say, Rich?
Why Rich London ain't on my live? For real, Rich?
Did my live stop? Did it stop the sound? Oh, okay, nah, it's still going. Right?
Yeah, it's still going. All right.
So what you guys say? Because I'm trying.
My question to you guys is: if Cleveland win this game in double digits, maybe it's 10 or more, does that change the complexity of the whole series?
If Cleveland wins by double digits?
Yes.
If Cleveland
by 10?
By 10
or more? I'll be shocked if they won by double digits in Golden State. I would be shocked.
And the reason why I ask is because they can win, however, but I think that in order for it to really to swing the pendulum, it would have to win by 10 or more. And like I said, I'm just throwing out there. If they were to win by 10 or more, how would that change the series? Because I know you're ready, D-Ruck. What up? I know you're ready.
No, I defer. I defer to you.
If Cleveland don't win tonight, it's Golden State in 5.
Okay.
It's Golden State in 5. if Golden State gets the chance to go to Cleveland 2-0, game 3 or 4, they take it. They're gonna try to come back and win it at home. They're gonna try to get that split in Cleveland. And maybe I would love to see if Golden State can sweep them. Go 16-0. Go 16-0. Why not? I read it.
Rich Legend said KD was a crip on Tuesday. Got his block shot up by the Bloods that came outside the crib Wednesday, and they got a red bandana on. Hashtag Cavs. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about, Rich.
I can't stand that dude, Rich Legend.
I hate to see us.
You know what? Before I'm gonna let you finish, right?
Go ahead, Kanye. Go ahead, Kanye.
But you know what was getting really
Beyonce got the double apple. Lemonade is amazing.
Nick Wright.
Oh man.
I know you love Nick.
Yo, I should have jumped in, man.
Yo, the only reason I mean this in my heart. I mean this. The only reason why I won't Golden State to demolish Cleveland is because of Nick Wright. Because Nick Wright
lose his job.
Nick Wright had the balls to say on his Twitter page. Well, I said it was gonna go 5, and he got Cavs in 5. He said I said it was gonna go 5, and the Warriors had to win at least 1 for it to go 5. Nick Wright believes that the Cavs are going to win 4 straight. 4 straight.
Yo, let me just say something about Nick Wright, man.
I know you're ready.
Right? Savannah should be mad about this whole Nick Wright thing, right? She should feel a way.
Don't you talk about my goddaughter.
No, she should feel a way as a woman about what this man does to her husband's.
Don't you talk about my goddaughter like that.
There's some gestures I want to make, but I wonder how Nick Wright watches Cavalier games. Like, in my head, like, I'm sure there's a bottle of lotion.
Look at that.
Some nipple pinching. No, let me tell you why. Because the way Nick Wright talks about, listen, you want to bow down to the king.
She should be upset for real.
Listen, it's 2 people that Savannah should have real problems with. Nick Wright and Rihanna. She should have real problems with Nick Wright and Rihanna. Yo, y'all be thirsting on my being too much.
Yo, Rihanna is so disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
She's so disrespectful.
She better not let Jeff Van Gundy get up in there.
Yo,
he said she is stunning.
He said Rihanna's a walk through. Just do one whole concentration up. But nah, you know, it is again back to Nick Wright. You know, and
no, we're not going back. No. We're not going back to Nick Wright.
So then stop deferring then. And then
listen.
Say what's on your heart.
We off of that. Listen. See, I have a whole other thing today that I wanted to talk about. I really had a whole other thing. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to wrap it up real nice, right? Game 1 was game 1. It was sloppy on both sides. It was an ugly victory by the Golden State Warriors. I know people are looking into it and say, okay, it was up 22, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you could take out the turnovers. They only have 4 for the game. The Cavs have, like 20? About 20 in that game. They wound up winning by 20 points. KD went bananas. Steph did what he did. Nobody else really did what they did. Okay, we get that. The thing that you were saying about the game action, if you really want to be real, is like we said off here before. The game was sloppy. Golden State did not play well. The only thing that's scary to me and that should be scary to other people is that they did not play well at home and still won by 20 points, right?
22.
They could have been up in that first half by 30 plus.
Yeah, easy.
Just off the bunnies alone. Yeah. Now you're talking about David West missing 15-footers.
That's his
Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala. You got Draymond going to the cup missing. You got Clay missing everything. I ain't even going to disrespect. No.
But you got to bring it up because the first play of the game, Zaza gave up. He had 2 easy looks in the basket.
Even KD, his first shot was an air ball.
Yep.
Like, so you take all that into consideration. You say, okay, filling each other out, cool. The thing that I looked at in the game is the strategy, right? We talked about it earlier in the year when they played in Christmas, when they played in January. The problem that Golden State presents is if you double, you leave somebody open. Now, what they may do tonight is that they may start running at KD and they may run at Steph and leave Clay open just to play the percentages. Again, he's not somebody I will play the percentages with because if he has a quarter, just one quarter, when he goes off, It's a problem.
It's a problem.
And we ain't even got to point at the 37 points to 36. We can talk about Game 5, Oklahoma City, what he did in the third quarter.
11 threes.
Yo, period.
And it was
shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
But yeah, right? It was one of those type of performances. It really was.
I'm just saying, man. So we could talk about all that. It is what it is. This is what I really wanted to get to, right? And which I think is also a big thing that's kind of overshadowing the finals. I wanted to start by giving you guys some props. And this is what I mean by this, right?
Please.
In all the debates that everybody's having, who's better? Is he better than Jordan? Blah, blah, blah. Is he chasing the GOAT? Yeah. Listen, let me just say this. Just like the great stars of the past that we've seen, the people that we idolize, I don't think anybody's going to sway anybody in an argument about LeBron and Mike. Anybody that came up watching LeBron is solely going to stick with LeBron because they're going to feel, well, Mike's old. This LeBron. Anybody came up watching Mike, that's what it is. Okay, cool. What I really want to get to is this, man. You got to give the man respect because I think this is the first megastar that we have had in our sport, or in this sport of basketball, that has been absolutely, from top to bottom, start to finish, and he ain't even done yet, squeaky clean. I don't know if he got homegirl from Scandal running his publicist or whatever. If Olivia Pope got the white hat on, I don't know what's going on. But I say this. He does everything right, which to me, you have to respect the game. There's no hate that can be given to you. On the court, again, you have to respect the greatness. Yes, Rich London witness. I did it. Okay? It's over. All right?
It's not him. It's the fan. It's never LeBron. It's always the fan.
It's never you, bro. The only thing with you is your hairline. It's never you. But we blame that on. Well, you know we blame that on. Anyway, listen. Just let it happen, right? But what I really want to get to, man, is this whole Jason Whitlock thing.
Oh boy.
And this is why I wanted to get to it.
Hold on, wait. Let me get the coon monitor up.
Listen.
Ding, 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 ding.
This is my problem with the whole thing, right?
Please.
Take your time.
It's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time in sports in general.
Yeah.
That we have had the access that we've had to our athletes with our own people.
Right. Yeah.
With a larger black media, right? Due to social media and everything like that, like we have a Jason Whitlock, we have a Mike Hill, we have a Jamel, we have Stephen A, we have Kerry, we got Shannon, we have all these people, right? So he comes out and his thing was he supposedly made his name by riding on the back of like Marty Schottenheimer and everybody else that was associated with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yo, but who didn't? First, he likes to, and I'm gonna let you go, but he likes to say, I've been hard on these certain white coaches, but who wasn't hard on Marty Schottenheimer? I always thought Marty Schottenheimer got a bad rap.
When he says that, and when he said it in his whole little speech or whatever, listen, that's like people saying no disrespect, and then they go ahead and disrespect.
Yo, but your mama come.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like, exactly.
That's what it is. So he had this whole thing when Charlamagne gave him Donkey of the Day. Came back with Charlamagne. The first thing that he said in his piece was, "Thank you, Charlamagne, for introducing me to your audience." Right? But you said that and did that, and then came back and you proved his audience the right way to think about you and view you by everything that you just said with what happened to LeBron. Right? So now all of a sudden, racism doesn't happen to rich people, right? Which is ridiculous, right? For him to even go at LeBron and say that for him to mention Emmett Till in that same sentiment and what he's going through and what happened at his home was ridiculous. This is what I say again about Chagasa, and this is why I do respect him as a man. He always stays above the fray, and he acknowledges his place in society and his platform and uses it well. So he got to get mad props for that. But for Whitlock, man, I just, for him to be begging on social media right after that, talking about Charlamagne, don't give me Donkey a day, we should come together and blah, blah, blah. But then you do what you do and say what you say, but then you demonize LeVar Ball for something that, again, and I'm not a LeVar Ball fan, but you can't beat me over the head and say that homegirl didn't try to pull him into a trap by saying, "Oh, what are you threatening me?" That wasn't journalism. That was racism right there in itself. Because if she really wanted to get to the point of him, she could have said, "Well, LeVar, what don't you like about my point? Turn around, let's talk about it. Let's argue." Not saying, "Are you threatening me?" So now a black man is threatening you on air and y'all on Fox. Yeah, right. Right? So then you go on and do everything that you do, and then when this happens to LeBron, you put Chris Broussard on the show, and he can't even get 3 words out of his mouth, and the first thing you say, "It's my show."
I don't care whose show it is. I'm on the set.
That's what he said. It's my show, and you're not going to filibuster, SAT word people, you're not going to filibuster the whole thing.
But all he was doing was trying to filibuster Chris Broussard.
Exactly.
And that's why Chris Broussard said, I don't care who show it is. I'm on the set.
So again, Mr. Whitlock, you have proven to everybody that is a fan of the Breakfast Club, that is a fan of Charlemagne, that is of this new age media, that you are who you thought we were.
Yes.
And you that dude. AB, listen, Adrian Broner, you have lost the title of America's #1 coach.
Don't worry, he's like this.
You have lost that title, and Mr. Whitlock has picked that up. Now, Mr. Whitlock, listen, we're not going to go into the body shaming. We're not doing all that. But just as a point of view, and I can't body shame you. I'm a big man. Big man season. But you in them tight hats,
Yo, if you remember, though, he came out of his way to make that statement on Colin Cowherd's show. I watch Colin before I leave to go to work every day. And Colin made it a point to say, you weren't supposed to be on the show. You asked to come up here.
Yes.
So he made it a point, like, I want to get this out here as early as possible of how I think LeBron is, being too sensitive. That's what he basically thought that LeBron was being too sensitive, that he's too rich to experience racism. And
I mean, listen, let's throw this other point out there, people, that a lot of people haven't even talked about, right? He said that it was something that LeBron didn't see, his family didn't see, because his staff cleaned it off within 5 minutes or whatever. Right? It's an inconvenience to you. It's not an inconvenience to you because, again, that is a piece of racism. And listen, this happened in Brentwood, California. You know what else happened in Brentwood?
OJ.
Right? So would you be the smart man to say that it's not people in Brentwood that don't still want black people in that neighborhood? Come on, Mr. Woodlock, you should be better than that, right? But it really infuriates me because when we talk about where we are and the people that we have on these platforms, and especially somebody like LeBron, right, that hasn't done anything wrong to shame himself, to shame his family, to shame the culture, to shame the game.
Jason Whitlock would disagree.
But you want to go at him. Just like you go at Serena and people like that, you want to go at all these prominent black athletes that our generation, our future generations look to for guidance.
Does he talk positive about any black athlete?
I haven't heard.
Like, just want to just
and over the last 2 days, I've been looking to hear him say something.
Is he ever positive?
No.
He, you know what? And it's so sad because, again, when you're talking about the black culture and who demonizes the most is us. I think that he feels that he has the right to say stuff that a lot of black people aren't saying and should say. Again,
he always tries to preface and say, "Yo, I'm black.
Yes.
My mother was black. My father owned a barbershop.
Listen,
I'm used to."
Before you go there, and that's the other thing that gets me. Like you said, people that say that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm black. That means you don't believe that you're black. You gotta say it. And another one that jumps on the bandwagon, and I know we don't have time, but listen, Jay Williams, I'm coming for you too, son.
Oh yeah.
Listen, Jay.
All right, listen, I don't know if I can get on this boat.
Jay, no, listen, you're gonna have to, because you're a Dookie. Listen, you know what? I'm gonna put it to you like this, Jay.
Talk bad about Dookie on the show.
You talked all this junk, and you got on all this stuff, and you talked about how Tiger Woods should have sympathy. Right? Now, this is why I'm mad with Jay. You talked about how we should have sympathy for Tiger. And again, Tiger was absolutely proven, I think, innocent in what happened because he passed both of his breathalyzers, right? But you go to bat for Tiger, but the first thing you say about an NBA legend like Pat Ewing is, oh, he shouldn't have got that job at Georgetown. So he, again, is another person that uses his platform to go at all these people. And the crazy thing about Jason Williams that nobody ever talks about or that they always sweep under the rug, yeah, you was a dookie. And just because you was a dookie, we don't talk about the ignorant stuff that you did when you got to Chicago. Because you was the one, and even if you wrote about it, you wrote about it as a perspective to kind of sell a book. But still, look at how you could have been. You could have been demonized the same way they demonized Ron Artest when he got the job at Circuit City when he was in Chicago. You was out there, and there was a clause in your contract that you wasn't supposed to be on motorcycles.
Not only that,
but you got on one.
He was on TV on that show, and I do remember that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
ESPN, and he said clearly, I should not be on this because it's against my contract.
And then you get on it, and you get hurt.
Exactly.
And then again. And this is what I say, being that you a dookie, you don't earn that privilege just like you did when you grew up in Jersey, because you really forget where you are and where you came from. Like, now you want to get on and try to, go at other people that are getting in positions to do something powerful. I don't care if Pat Ewing doesn't win a game at Georgetown. This is something that the people at Georgetown got right. Because you have to give somebody like that, a legend in your program, a chance if you're trying to rebuild. So for him to go at it, come on, Jay, you wilding. Now you on Facebook talking about you need an intern. Please pick me, because I definitely want to be an intern for the summer. But I'm hashtagging you all summer.
But going back to my point about Jason Whitlock, I think that he's one of those blacks who feel that he can come at blacks in a way that he can speak for all blacks. You're not speaking for all blacks. If it was something that's being done negatively, sure, then you speak on it. But when you're just trying to speak and you're just trying to hate, again, you can't tell somebody how they're supposed to feel. Just because he's rich, he could be a billionaire, but you know what? He's still gonna be a black man in America.
Yo, but you know what the funny thing about that? Did you hear how Colin was trying to say no, but it did affect him? His kids are involved in it. And he like, no.
Listen, we've heard things about Colin that we won't say just because, right? But Colin got out of that conversation so quick. He was like, whether this is gonna sink or you gonna swim, I want no part. He was quiet. And Colin ain't a quiet person.
Nope.
He was quiet for the majority of that interview. He wasn't gonna say he agreed or disagreed with anything that was coming out of Jason Whitlock's mouth. Smart move by Colin.
Yeah.
Jason Whitlock though. Something that my boy, shout out to Henny. One thing he said, when did Jason Whitlock become the racism police? Like, when did he become the racism judge? Like, he determines what is and what isn't racist.
Exactly.
So in Jason Whitlock, we trust. Right?
Yeah, right.
The illest thing I seen about Jason Whitlock was somebody posted and said, we the black delegation would like to trade Jason Whitlock for Max Kellerman.
Yes.
Because Max Kellerman keep it more black than Jason Whitlock.
We will definitely we'll give you draft picks and everything for Max.
Man, Jason, to me, see, listen, I ain't on Sports Center, so I could say what got Rob Parker fired. He a cornball brother. He a cornball brother.
Rob Parker, he another one too. He better sit his double peaks and he wants to shape up having one down
too. It's a shame because it's like, you know what, you got these black people who going on these shows trying to, make fun of other black people, and it's not working. Like, you're really looking stupid not only to the black, but also to the whites. Because again, where are you preserving your culture? Well, again, if they wanted another white guy, they would have hired him.
Listen, I'll put it to you like this. Anybody on that show, on the herd, or anything that has anything to do with Jason Whitlock on his show, right? Let him step out of the line with a white athlete, and I guarantee you, nobody on that set is going to come to his defense. No. Nobody. It's not going to happen.
No,
and he will not be on the air. No. You see what happened to Kathy Griffin? Listen, she got red hair, she Irish. They think that's part of us.
Yeah, she went a little overboard.
Yeah, she did.
But Jason Whitlock, he's gonna ride it down. I don't know if y'all seen what Martellus Bennett, him and Martellus Bennett was going back and forth on Twitter.
Martellus need to shut up too.
And what's his name too? His other brother too. The other Bennett.
I can't. Martellus, I need you to catch 10 touchdowns this year.
Michael Bennett. Yeah, they were all going there. Jason Whitlock and a bunch of other people, Sean King and Talib Kweli. They were all everybody was going at him because it's just here's what it all boils down to. Angela Rye too. Shout out to Angela Rye. Yeah, my girl watch. Anyway. Anyway,
Colorado.
Anyway, man, Jason is gonna keep. To me, he reminds me of Tommy Lauren. I don't know if he believes what he said. You know what? Every time he comes out, it's always to get him some attention. Because this is the only thing. I didn't know who Jason Whitlock was until he started saying outrageous things about prominent black athletes who really don't have any bad characteristics or shown any negative things in their career. That's the first thing I've ever, not this incident, but incidents like this with Jason Whitlock, which are regular. That's the first time I heard of him. So it makes me think, oh, you do this for show. You do this for show. Maybe you do, maybe you don't believe it. I won't get into that. But this is definitely for show because, like you said, the first thing he said, thank you for introducing me to a new audience. Because here's the thing. If Trump has taught us anything, all publicity is good publicity. It's all good. He showed us how to really work. Listen, we can get into Donald Trump, and that's a different beast. But if you look at he can write his own narrative on everything he does. On everything he does, positive or negative, you always talking about Donald Trump. First, anytime something happens, the first thing I do is I run to Twitter. I want to see where it's trending. When I'm watching Jason Whitlock talk about LeBron James and racism, about my jaw, because I gotta leave, I gotta go to work, and I'm just on the couch, and I'm like, I can't believe this nigga is saying this. I really can't believe this. Let me go on Twitter. Trending number 3. Within a matter of minutes, trending number 3.
He's gonna take every opportunity. The sad thing about it is, the only thing that would stop him and stop people like him or Ron Paul, is that we stop talking about it.
Got to.
That's the only thing. But what he's saying is just so outrageous. It's like, what are you talking about?
But you know what? Again, the reason why I don't think it's going to last forever because it's enough racist white people doing it. I think that for him, he's on a major platform, and when you look at the bureaucracies and matters it's okay for him to talk about it because you know why they're saying, well, you know what, he's black.
But
so
it's actually more dangerous.
No, it really is. But I think that what's going to happen is he's going to kill his career because you know what? One thing about
people always gonna have a job.
No. But one thing about people that love fame is that that's their demise as well. And then what's going to happen is he's going to overstep his boundaries. And he's going to say something that's going to have people say, well, you know what, Jason? It's cool, but how about you?
I got a question for Jason Whitlock. He says that, racism doesn't affect the wealthy or the well-off. It only affects the poor. And my question to him is, well, then explain Black Wall Street to me.
You know what my question was?
Explain that to me, because they were well off.
You know what my question was when he first said that? Explain Michael Jackson to me then. Explain Michael Jackson. If you don't think it affects any well-off African American, explain that. Because when that whole thing happened with Mike, who accepted him back? Us. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Look, Tiger ain't even want us. And he got in trouble. Who had Tiger back?
Right? Even now.
I mean, I still don't fuck with Tiger, but that's the whole.
But I just think it's crazy, man. I think it's absolutely crazy, and I think it's a shame that his statements, his commentary, take away from not only somebody for LeBron fans that we should be celebrating in LeBron, but again, you're talking about absolute greatness. Like Isaiah Thomas, I was watching him, and he probably had one of the best breakdowns ever of LeBron and why he's so great.
He was on.
I was watching him on Undisputed.
Okay, yeah.
And he said, and it's the simplest thing. He said, listen, you have somebody like LeBron coming from high school, right, as an all-time great in this game, with no tangible basketball pedigree that you can point to and say, how are you this good, right? even the argument that he made too, and me and my wife were talking about it too. But like even the argument about if you're talking about Jordan's the greatest, you have to at some point talk about Kareem.
Yeah.
Old school has, old school has to say, but at the same time, like, listen, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for everything that we have had in all these great players, right? He literally changed the game.
Yeah.
From high school to college to NBA, they've made rule changes at every level just because of him.
No dunking.
Like, somebody loses 2 games in 8 years? Like, how does that happen? Right? You can't dunk. So he comes up with one of the most unstoppable basketball moves ever that nobody still can't stop. Right? And still, through all this talk that we got about LeBron, through all this talk that we got about Mike, the #1 scorer, well, until Karl Malone kind of, got up there, because Karl is the #1, right? Oh, it's still Kareem.
Still Kareem.
Case rested. That's it. I'm done. That's it. It's not going to happen. Like, and again, everything that LeBron does, it is greatness. No hate, no nothing. It's greatness. But what I do want people to do is, especially for us, because we have a platform too. And that's why I said it's more dangerous when people like Whitlock are doing what they're doing, because we live in a society today that everything that we say, social media, everything, anything that's posted, people take that as Bible and live that way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want anybody to hear from us that we think that it was just an inconvenience from LeBron. That was racism, people. That's unacceptable, people.
Said
you come into my house, you lucky nobody was there with that heat.
Yeah. Chris Broussard said it best. They didn't write jerk on his fence.
No.
That's an inconvenience.
Yeah.
They didn't write jerk.
Appreciate you, big bro.
Nah, you know what? I mean, D-Rod, I think that you gave one of the great exposés that we have witnessed in our time.
Oh, man, that's been sitting with me for a couple
No, you know what?
I want to get him on the show. Let's hashtag this on the show so he got to talk to us. So, listen, he gonna have to talk to us.
Listen, I'm like Chris. I don't want to talk to him until he's talking about something that's positive, or until he got an argument that's sports related. Yes, we can debate with sports, but I will not debate with Uncle Ruckus because he want to get his views up. I will not. Now listen, our show, it's about positivity. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about. And again, I know any good publicity, bad is publicity, but when it comes to him, no, we have moral conscience. We don't want you on the show unless you're debating sports.
Listen,
until you get that done, we don't want you.
Colin Coward, you need Christopher Gale on your show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get Nick out of here.
Because let me tell you, right? Get Jason Whitlock. Nick can listen. Nick is fine. He just freaking gets an erection.
You need to give Nick the hands. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, Nick is fine. He just gets an erection every time you talk about LeBron James.
You better get out of here.
It's Jason Whitlock. Let me tell you one thing about Jason Whitlock, though. If I was ever on that platform, you would never boss me up. Like Chris Broussard is a nice guy, so like that's about as amped as you ever gonna get. Chris Broussard.
You lucky Chris Broussard to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said, people forget he like a devout Christian. Like, he said he ain't gonna get too out of pocket. Me, I'm gonna look Jason Whitlock in the face and go, I'm gonna fuck you up if you don't shut up. So, give a fuck.
You need Chris on your show, man. That's what I'm saying.
Not the Bouchard. You need the other Chris.
Yeah,
you need the other Chris.
You need Chris Negrodamus Aloysius Gay on your show.
Junior. The third.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you need. But, nah, man, I just had to say that. Game 2, listen, back to basketball, people. Game 2 is going to be what it is. I expect LeBron to have a superhuman performance. But I also expect this. The others from Golden State, as Shaq always say, Jersey, is they're going to be much better. David West is not going to miss them bunnies.
Nope.
Zaza will come out the game after he don't shoot the first layup.
Yep.
JaVale is going to do what he do.
Yep.
Listen, the other thing that we have to say, too, in a blowout, and what people said was a blowout win, again, you saw the staple of what Golden State does. Their others still carried the rest of that game.
Mm-hmm.
There were even times when LeBron was on the floor, Kyrie was on the floor. I mean, you had Ian Clark at some point that was checking.
I told you, Ian Clark and Patrick McCall would.
And they did what they needed to do. So again, it wasn't something shocking. I wasn't too hyped. It was a good game. I like that we got to what everybody wanted to see. But again, I think And again, I know you're gonna call it hate, but I think Cleveland has a lot more to figure out in this puzzle piece than Golden State does.
Got a lot more room for error.
You know what I'm saying?
Golden State got a lot more room for error.
They just do, because again, and even though KD is not going to guard LeBron for much of the series or anything like that, but you saw in certain possessions, he makes it hard. He makes it hard He makes it hard for him to get a shot off. And even if LeBron went bully, the way that they was kind of calling some of those calls, right? And which was funny. People got to take this into consideration too. The referees too. They allowed them to play physical in certain areas, in certain sports,
especially down low,
in certain spots. Right. But then there were certain things that they called too. Like LeBron had, I think, Kyrie had a charge. LeBron had a charge.
Kevin Love had a charge.
Draymond had a charge. So they were calling different things. I think the other thing that a lot of people aren't talking about, and the big thing that's going to play a big factor in the series, the change in the format is big. Mm-hmm. Because if you remember last year, they had 3 games at home. If they don't win tonight, you got to kind of figure that out, because that's 2-2, 1-1-1.
No, last year was 2-2.
No, it was 2-1-1. No, it was 2-3-2. 2-3-2.
No, it couldn't have
right?
been. No, it couldn't have been, because
I thought I looked it up.
I tell you why it couldn't have been.
Okay, wow.
We'll go back. Game 1, Game 2, Golden State.
Yeah.
Game 3, Cleveland wins in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Game 4, Golden State wins. Draymond gets suspended. Game 5 was back in Golden State because Draymond couldn't come to the arena.
Okay.
And then Game 6 was Cleveland, and then Game 7 was back in Golden State.
Yeah.
I promise it was 2-3, 2-2, because then it would have been 6 and 7 would have been in Golden State. And then 6 and 7 weren't both in Golden State.
But I thought we were talking about that, because I was like, I don't know if they're gonna win. They're gonna lose 2 home games.
I mean, they did, but they just didn't lose 2 home games back to back. They had one. You trying to look it up?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I'm a betting man. I would bet the house. I remember.
The house.
I bet the house.
Well, I ain't betting against it, because I ain't got no house, so I ain't doing it. But either way, like I said, it's gonna be good, man. I think again, LeBron will come out and do what he do. Like, what did we talk about before Game 1, man? Kevin Love trying to live out there, and he tried to bully, and he couldn't. And what he had to run back and do, try to get to the 3-point line. Yeah. Didn't work. Didn't work, people. I'm saying.
So it was so last year it was Golden State, Cleveland, Golden State, Cleveland.
Okay, so it changed last year. Okay.
Yeah, I think the first change was last year, because the year they won it in 2015, I think it was 2-3-2.
Yeah.
Because they won it in Cleveland.
Yeah.
On Game 6.
Yeah. But you know what? Yeah, because it was 4-2. But listen, that also goes to the point that Chris made before too. If Golden State wins this game tonight, they're comfortable winning in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. They've done that before.
They've done that.
And again, they still motivated for Christmas. Yeah. In Cleveland.
Ever since that Christmas game, every time they played, it's been like
it's been something else. So
down.
Like I said, just going over my notes and what I saw. Listen, I'm not concerned for Cleveland as far as them again, I agree Cleveland has to come out. Cleveland got to really play. Mm-hmm. But again, now you take that Golden State team, from last year, that would have been 40 points that Cleveland would have gave up. You know what I mean? Because last year they were just so much on it.
But see, I don't think they were, because all right. And then, I'm sorry, but this is why I say this. I don't think they were, because even Golden State last year, they still. How do we break it down? We talked about before this, right? We talked about Steph is starting to get back to him, right? Mm-hmm. If you looked at game one, but if you looked at game 1, you could tell, just like we said, we play sports. Anytime that switch happened, Tristan or Kevin Love, boogies. Let's go. Barbecue chicken.
Now you're right, like I said.
Right? And it wasn't a jump shot.
No, it was
going to the hole.
Right to the right.
Again, I'm not too concerned. After watching that game, I'm not too concerned. Listen.
Would you be concerned after tonight if it's a repeat of
if it's a repeat of game 1? Yes. If it's a repeat of game 1, yes. But here is my thing. You know, looking at it. KD if they let KD carry the series, I don't think KD can carry the series past game 3. Okay, they're going to need everybody else to step in again. I know that's
no. He didn't do nothing special. He just took layups.
Yeah, he kind of didn't do anything special.
He just had layups.
That's true. But again, I think that Cleveland wasn't as physical. If Cleveland come out physical, okay, don't turn the ball over. Okay. And we need a little more offensive production, Tristan. You know what I mean? So I think
that's Chloe for it. He ain't getting that again.
That's when the Kardashian curse begins, and you know what I mean. So
see Lamar Odom.
But so I watching this game, you know, watching as a LeBron/Cleveland fan, I feel comfortable going into game 2.
Chris,
I mean, I'm being real. I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable going into game 2. Because again, I think that it's something that Cleveland needs to adjust to. One, Cleveland needs to realize, listen, we are not home. We are not going to get these calls. We have to make smart shots. Okay, but that's what we have to do.
Like I told you when we were talking on the phone that night, it's not. I never thought that the calls were so egregious.
No.
That it was like, you know, it was just like these blatant, like, how could you call that?
Yeah.
It was regular, just, you know, regular calls. So, and I said home cooking at the time, but then when I watched the game again, watching the highlights, I go, no, just a regular routine NBA, good calls, bad calls.
Here is where you will get happy, because I think that LeBron was looking for those calls. And once he wasn't getting those calls, after he got that charge, he was like, yo, what the hell?
No, I think, you know what I think, if anything that I saw LeBron in game 1, I saw his frustration in his teammates. Because there were a lot of times, even those rim runs that KD was having, you're talking about it's bitty basketball. But the person that got the ball is the most important person.
But you know that they want to close out on the 3, because what you don't want from Golden State is the transition 3 and for them to get popping, because if they get, it's hard to stop them.
Right,
And I will say one thing that I didn't see, which is a good and a bad thing. I didn't see that typical Golden State run where it's just murder.
Well,
I didn't see that.
And that's why I said it was a bad game.
I didn't see that. But even though I didn't see that, I didn't see they took what was given to them. So I feel like they stopped. They stopped the big, like, then they just scored 25 points in 4 minutes. But they was like, you know what? If you're gonna give us 2, we're gonna take 2. We're still gonna take them.
And real quick, and that's what me and Chris were talking about, because we watch a Golden State team who capitalize off of mistakes. Because usually Golden State, listen, we're going to play Golden State ball and we're going to play it our way. What you see them do a great job is scoring over turnovers. So really,
so here's my question to you. Right? If Cleveland's strategy is now, okay, they have 56 points in the paint. We have to cut that down. So if their strategy now is to load up to the ball, which means somebody takes the ball, basically you crowd the paint. If they're going to do that, you guys do realize that at any one time in the game, that even with the person dribbling the ball, there are 3 other shooters at the 3-point line.
But you know what?
One of them being Steph, the other being Clay, even though he off, and even if you put Draymond in the corner.
No, Draymond like head on, like he top of the key straight up threes. That's his favorite spot.
Yep.
But he's been shooting 50% threes this whole playoffs. Now he was off last night. I mean Thursday night. Obviously Clay was on. Wardell was on. Wardell was on. And I think tonight is going to be a heavy, heavy dose of Wardell. To me, tonight, I think Wardell, I don't want to say he had any, like, ghost chasing him from last year or when they played each other. But
he didn't play horribly.
Because he didn't play horribly, but he didn't play
well.
Chef. You know, he was chefing, but he didn't have to chef as much because KD did so much heavy lifting early in the game. Steph had an amazing third quarter where he scored 14 points in the third quarter, and he really put it away.
Yeah.
It was over in the third quarter, and because they made a little run, they cut it to 12, and then Steph said, no.
Yep.
3 threes, no. So
and if you look at those, think about it too. In that third quarter, early in the third quarter, he looked like Steph Game 7 from last year because he had those dumb turnovers.
Yeah.
Because he had 3 of the 4 turnovers. Two.
He had 2. Draymond had the other 2.
He had those 2 hook passes that you were talking about.
He had the one hook pass that hit off of Zaza and went in the backcourt. Yep. And then he had another just bad pass. But at least he wasn't doing the dumb. He kept it right. He said, if we keep it simple. Yep. And that's all they have to do. Another thing that I like that Golden State did in that game was the 4 turnovers. Because the reason teams are even in games against Golden State a lot because they play and they turn the ball over. I watched them play San Antonio in the closeout game. There was a point in the fourth quarter where they were up by 17 and they turned the ball over 6 times back to back to back to back and had San Antonio cut it to 8. And then then they go in, they super run and then it's over. But I think they know you can't. Cleveland is a good transition team.
Yeah.
And you don't, with LeBron and Kyrie, man, you get them 2 running. Something magical going to happen. So they wanted to limit that. And they did. Even though they missed a lot of 3s, even when they missed them, they weren't long rebounds, get the running 3s. You know what I mean?
So they were also, too, you got to also take your hat off to their strategy in terms of how they rebounded. Because
they were monsters on the board.
Even on their misses, I mean, they were getting 2 or 3. Listen,
2 or 3 shots.
At the end of the day, right, what we will have to say about this series and what makes it so different from last year, regardless of what we say about that boy and his hair, because he needs to brush his hair, right? KD allows them to do the things that they're not normally able to do with a team like Cleveland. And you saw it in spurts. Again, he allows them to kind of load up and go to the boards because he's another long body, right? He's also somebody that Cleveland has to be aware of where he's at and be attached to him, right? He allows Draymond, when they're playing together, to get in the post, and just like he did against LeBron, that he wants to mix it up with somebody down there. Yeah. He wants to mix it up with Kevin Love, so he allows that. And then, again, if you're not stopping him in transition, he's the one that's bringing the ball. And
he's bringing the ball up. Yeah.
And then think about it, too. What you got in the first quarter is way different than what he did in the second and third, because in the first quarter, it was a lot of Draymond pushing until he got his 2 fouls.
Yep.
And that's when KD
and Draymond normally is the one who's pushing it.
And that, again, it puts you in a position. Like,
are you gonna
where are you going?
Because Draymond will take it to the rack. And then what are you going to do when KD run to the corner and Clay and Steph run to the 2 wings?
Because there was even one. There was the last, really good dunk that he had. I wasn't even mad at what JR did because JR was running back in transition, and he said, I got you, and Steph just ran to the corner. I got to go. So, again, it's going to – and this is what LeBron and Kyrie were saying too. Cleveland is different because they're a good transition team, but most of the offense is based off ISO.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So it allows you and it allows the defense, especially a long defense, to load up and play their sets differently. Like, even when they was running Kyrie off some of them picks, and even now, I wish people were really watching what was going on. Even what they did, just a small adjustment that they made from Christmas, when they tried to pin down between Kyrie and LeBron, either JaVale or Zaza or Draymond or even Iggy, right?
Iggy played great defense.
They weren't – you talking now all those players weren't even in the play. But what they did was they sat at the middle of the lane and said, listen, whoever you try to throw it to is going to be 2 on.
It also allowed Steph to show because, as you see, they wanted to do that whole let's get Steph.
He's not praying for the Cavs.
They wanted to do the whole thing that they did last year was let's get Steph on LeBron or Kyrie. Yeah. And what he did this time was he would show out off the pick and then come right back. Right back. So you do get a split second to kind of get an open shot, but it's always with a long man though. When the pick was coming, it was always with another. It was JaVale, it was Iggy, it was KD. So it was like even though you got a little separation, they could close the gap if they shoot out hard. So
and then what Chris is saying too, look at it, people. If he's showing like that and running back to Kyrie, and you're trying to get a pin down between him and LeBron, is LeBron gonna shoot that with that much confidence?
So real quick, because I know Chris is gonna take off, so we but again we got some good point. Give me your 5 keys for Cleveland and give me your 5 keys for Golden State to win. Go ahead, D-Rob.
My 5 keys for Cleveland.
Dylan.
He spit hot fire. No, I mean it's simple. They have to, and this is crazy. We're gonna say some of these things, but again, it really downplays how bad Game 1 was. They're gonna have to be better on the boards, even though Kevin Love had 21 rebounds.
True.
So they're gonna have to
have like 4. Though.
Exactly. They're gonna have to be better on the boards. They're gonna have to be better in transition. LeBron is gonna have to be superhuman. Kyrie's gonna have to be special. They're going to have to get something out of JR or Shump. Period. Those other people, I don't care what you want to talk about. I'm not believing in Darren or his hairline.
What I tell
or
you.
Kyle.
What I tell you.
No.
I'm not
Golden State. Golden State real quick. I think Golden State is the dial for me because it's just Clay. Because Clay does what he does, or if he just warm. Because he was 3 for 16, 2 for 16,
3 for 16,
3 for 16. If he's 8 for 16, it's going to be different because 4 of them 8 are going to be from 3.
Yep.
So that's just it for them. I think will they have a 4 turnover game again? No, I expect their turnovers to be a lot different because it'll be a more physical game and stuff like that. But it's going to be something. At the end of the day, man, never in sports have you talked about an X factor, and the X factor being probably the 3rd best player in the NBA. So it's hard, man. It's hard.
So what you got, Chris?
For Cleveland, got to be better defensively.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna need more out of your bench, and we had a conversation off air about how their bench scored as much as Golden State bench, and that's cute. But you need more. You need more because I don't know if Kevin Love has been playing exceptionally well throughout the playoffs, but he does not play. It's the matchup and the way that they play, so he's not as an effective of a scorer against Golden State for some reason. He is not, and they're going at him hard. So they're really leaving it up to. They're really saying LeBron and Kyrie, just you two got to beat him.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a double-edged sword in the last 2 points for Cleveland. They got to be better in the ISO, and they need to do less ISO. It's kind of crazy. They need to do less ISO, even though I know that's their style.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to be better when they go ISO. I mean, I think when LeBron and Kyrie both went ISO on Clay, they won for 12. That's just not good enough.
No.
It's just not good enough.
No.
For Golden State, I think, keep the turnovers low. Keep banging them boards. Mm-hmm. I think that was a major plus for them. The way they was getting on those boards.
Be physical.
Be physical. I think you need more. One thing that I love. Oh, one more thing with Cleveland. They are going to kill LeBron. I told you this when we was talking. The first quarter, they played LeBron the first quarter and up to the 9-minute mark in the second quarter. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant already had 2 breaks.
Yep.
He already had 2 breaks. Steph was on his 1 because Steph always plays the first and then doesn't come into the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. What I saw from the Warriors, where they played their bench and their players like they normally do. Like this wasn't even a playoff game. They played. Everybody got their breaks. Right. Now, I will say that the bench was a little shorter. Like they didn't go like Ian Clark normally comes in the second. Patrick McCall normally they didn't come into the third. So they played Iggy and David West and McGee and Livingston. And McAdoo actually got it. And Livingston, they normally play them a little longer. Mm-hmm. But they normally play them a little shorter, but they play them longer. But they got good quality minutes out of their bench, all the veterans. And then the last thing is Clay. Mama called you Clay. Mama called him Clay. I need to see something other than defensive because I know you're gonna bring it. But offensively, if Clay bring it tonight, it's over. Yeah. It's like if this game start in 7-8 minutes in, Clay got 11, 12 points already. Just sit on the bench because it's over. It's over.
So here are my keys for Cleveland. Be more physical. less turnovers, definitely get more offensive production, and I do get offensive rebound as well. Tristan Thompson, I mean, come on, you got to crash with board, man. Slow down KD.
Let him out.
You know, slow down KD. You know, make others play. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna have to again, like you said. You know, do we step here? Do we step there? But listen, you gotta make everybody play. For Golden State, like Chris said, get Clay involved. Clay has to get involved. You know, 3 for 16. That's not like what we used to. But again, like you said, if he go freaking 8 for 20 something, it's like okay, now we got a problem. Stay physical. Again, seeing Golden State being physical, it was like wow, okay, that's not Golden State, but stay physical. Make Tristan Thompson and make Kevin Love uncomfortable. Also, don't let LeBron get hot. They gotta really, get LeBron frustrated. You know what I mean? Like use those, use the home cooking as we call it. Use some of them charging files and get LeBron out of there. Make him force the ball to other players. Make Cleveland play. And also push the tempo. Keep pushing that tempo. Do not let your foot off the gas. And also, and it sounds funny, like JaVale McGee, man. Get him involved.
JaVale McGee.
Get him involved.
Shaq, you go. Shaq, you had to make an apology, man. Yeah. Except that fool was walking around practice answering text messages. Come on, JaVale. You're better than that.
So that's mine. I can't wait. It's coming at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. This is it. Again, for Cleveland, this is it. Like, you got to win this, or
that's a must win. It's a must win.
Does anybody have anything to say? Quick little 2-minute joint before we wrap up.
Yeah, quick little 2-minute joint. I want to give a big shout out to Max Holloway. If you watched UFC last night, he took down the legend Jose Aldo. And I mean, that was a fight last night, Jose Aldo versus Max Holloway. He looked like he's gonna be waiting for Conor whenever he ready, because he
stopped playing.
He fought Conor before. They went the distance. They went all 3 rounds. So it's not like he ain't used to it. So shout out to Max Holloway, and I also want to our former coon number 1 actually grew a pair and booked a fight against Mikey Garcia at 140 pounds. Let me tell you, I wholeheartedly believe that Mikey gonna give him the work of his life. I believe that wholeheartedly. But I'm happy to see that he actually has a pair and he's actually gonna fight somebody that's not a scrub. Shout out to AB.
I don't have anything to say. Just get your popcorn ready. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, D-Rock, man?
Nah, man. The easy one is this, man. Shout out, to my brother Marquette Aloysius Latavius Sutton for all the work behind the scenes. People like, I don't know if y'all understand what's about to happen, man. Yeah. Mama, we made it. We on iTunes. We got some other things popping, some other things coming. Listen, man, Marquette is the people's champion, man. So we just here. Listen, like Charles Barkley said, we ride his coattails to a championship. Nah, man. Yo, that's the next show, though. That's the next show. That was a dope open court they did the other day. The best players and the best teams to not win an NBA championship. Oh, yeah, that was dope. Chris Webber was in his feelings the whole show.
We got that, money. Getting us right. He's gonna give us like a nice little promo, nice little intro. He's gonna give us something nice. So we definitely appreciate you. And again, please tune in. We're on iTunes now. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Under Professional Sutton. Our Facebook fan page, Don't Shoot the Messenger Podcast. Instagram, Don't Shoot the Messenger Sports Podcast. So we are there. Thank you for everybody.
Yes.
For just being a support, and we definitely appreciate you. On behalf of me and my partners, I'm your boy Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy Chris G.
And it's your boy The Ruck Report.
Peace.
Peace.
Jersey.